peoples, how you guys doing? I want to do a read on Venezuela. Wait for you guys to join me. I'm going to do I did a remote viewing, my friends. Everything I'm about to say is for entertainment purposes, and I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. Okay. I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. If you guys can hear me, let me know. If you guys can hear me, let me know. I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear me? I'll wait for some of you guys to let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Whew. I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you. So, Venezuela. Venezuela and my American people, my fellow Americans. I want to say something. Be careful what you give energy to at this time. Okay? Be careful, my friends. Because, and I'm going to say this is for entertainment purposes, this is all bullshit. Okay? All bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. So, what is going on in Venezuela and America? What has occurred? What we perceive that has occurred, right? With our own eyes, that we're visualizing, that we're perceiving what we're being shown. Okay. I'm calling on my ancestors. Put a circle around me. Put a circle around me. And I have remote viewed this energy. I have remote viewed this situation. And everything. Okay. Now, this is going to sound crazy as hell. Okay. I did videos on a couple of countries, and I had to remote view this energy. Okay. Remote viewing. Okay. Channeling, going out the physical and going into the astral. Okay. I'm going to ring this bell. Okay. And I called on my ancestors. I called on my spirit guides. I called on my higher self. And I have um, remote viewed this. Okay. So when I remote viewed this, let me ring this bell. Okay. So everything that we're seeing as far as Venezuela and America is not true. Okay. Some will call me illusional, delusional, whatever you want to call me. um, I've never studied astrology. Stormy. I've never studied astrology. I'm self-taught. In past lives, I did astrology, but we did it differently. Okay, we looked at the turtle. Okay, in my father's tribe, we look at the turtle. Okay, the moon cycles, uh, the sun cycles. Okay, well, not the sun, the moon. Okay, anyways, so I had somebody that was going to teach me astrology. Okay, and I just said, you know what? Let me just not learn it, but I am kind of learning it, right? Because letters are numbers and numbers are letters, and everything they do has numbers and letters and very symbolic. Okay, so right now we're seeing we're seeing this public success or this public image of they went in there and they just took this man, okay, and his wife. Okay, that's not what happened, my friends. Okay, they gave him an offer. Okay, he took the offer. Okay, so all my Venezuelan sisters and brothers, because Venezuelan people, my dad's tribe is in Venezuela. Okay, I just had a tribal meeting, not even I think a month ago. And there was people that was on there from Venezuela and different other places. Okay, so this is all about an image. Okay, an image for this man that is running America. Okay, an image. Okay, an image to betray something that has not occurred. Okay, so you know how they say that they went in there in the middle of the night like ghosts. Woo. And took him and his wife. No. This was pre-planned and pre-organized. Okay? Pre-planned and pre-organized. Okay? There was something that was signed. There was an offer made. Okay? You either take this offer, you take this money, or we're going to come in another way. Okay? And this is what happened. Okay? It's all about an image, it's all about distractions. And I'm sad to say this, but basically he sold his country out. Okay? He signed the contract, my friends. Hi from Trinidad. I did that reading on Trinidad and Tobago, and there's no volume. There is no volume, my friends. No volume. I have to go on another platform eventually. And the thing is, I don't have a lot of viewers. Okay. And I'm not messing with the volume. Okay. The volume is all the way up. Okay. But the man basically sold his country out. They gave him a piece of paper. This is what I'm seeing. Okay. A contract. And said, look, these are your options. Okay. And this is for entertainment purposes, and this is all bullshit. I'm freaking delusional and um illusion and delusion. And it's sad. And the reason why I said is because many people have this false narrative, okay? Um, and he wants to show up as the savior, right? As a savior. There's drugs that are being smuggled in. We had a group of people, hey, that actually brought drugs in California, and they admit that they brought the drugs in the black communities in California. Okay. Thank you. I just woke up. I just woke up. I took a nap. I remote viewed, and the first thing I was getting was an image of him. Okay, an image of the guy in Venezuela, his wife, and the orange man. Okay, the orange woman, the orange man. Okay, so there was something signed, and they gave him an offer. They gave him a couple offers. Look, we'll come in, we'll do it this way, or we'll give you this. You sign this, okay? Um, and we've seen this before, okay? We've seen this with. I remember when I was looking. I never did a read on this guy, um, Nelson Mandela. He did a long time in jail, and to get out of jail, he had to sign a contract. Okay. Jail will do things to you mentally and spiritually, and you have to be strong. Okay. Um, and it was all staged, my friends. Okay. This was already pre-organized. This was already discussed. Okay. Um, he already knew. Okay. And there was a contract signed. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing as as remote viewing. The energy. Okay, energy never lies, my friends. Okay, so he signed a paper. He signed a contract. Okay, so everybody's thinking this man is in some kind of I can't, you guys. I can't. I cannot. We are really in a movie, okay, in a matrix. And when you give energy to stuff, it takes your, when you give attention to it, it takes, when you give something attention, it takes your energy, okay? So we have to be very careful what we give energy to, okay? Um, and when I look at the orange man, I see a weak man, okay? To even boast, oh, I went in there and to hype himself up, to make people think like that this wasn't pre-planned and pre-organized. This was all pre-planned and pre-organized. Okay. It was all, this was pre-planned and pre-organized, and something was signed. So it's kind of like you signing over your country. I mean, it's crazy to even say that. It's really crazy to say that. Because, in America we stand for what? Freedom, um, you know, morals, ethics, um, and this was all staged to look like. That's why even the pictures, I'm like, is that even him? I mean, is this AI generated? I mean, seriously. And I remote view this, and I seen a contract put in front of him, and he signed the contract, and he was given he was given you do this, you do that, okay, or we're going to do this and that, okay, and you're going to wind up really doing time, okay? And we're going to really take over your country, okay? Just saying. Or you could just sign it over, okay? Abracadabra. And we can make this look like an event that actually occurred. But they did go get him. Him and his wife knew they were coming. His son knew. I was looking at son's energy, and the woman that got sworn in. I'm going to protect and serve my people. And then she mentions the ancestors. I'm like, are they kidding me? Are they for real? A mockery of the ones that came before. Okay? And to say that, so people now think that he just was taken and they came in there, they just swooped in and took him. No, this is all staged, my friends. Staged. I cannot make this shit up. I cannot. I mean, what else can I say? It was a stage. I remote viewed it. And this is for entertainment purposes, and it's all fucking bullshit. Okay? We can even draw, we can even, I mean, I got the bones. The bones are going to say the same thing. The shells are going to say the same thing. The cards are definitely going to say the same thing. I mean, and I said to myself, I watched a video of the son and the woman that just got sworn in, and I'm like, they all know. Like, and everybody's going around like, oh my gosh, they came and they kidnapped him and they took over the country. I mean, obviously they had their eyes on Venezuela, okay, for quite some time. Okay. It wasn't about drugs. I mean, there is drugs coming in and out of all different kind of countries, okay? And a lot of people are involved in it, okay? But there's more than just drugs, my friends, okay? Human smuggling, okay? And I'm telling you, when that lady sworn in and she talked about she mentioned the ancestors and she got sworn in. She says we are something manistas or something. She's talking about her goddamn ancestors. I'm like, this woman got some balls. Okay, they're all in on it. Okay. So what you're seeing is some hokey dokey bullshit. And we've seen this, if you think about history, we've seen this with many places. We even seen this with Germany. My God. When they said that once they took his life in Germany and he was still alive. And they took the doctors, the scientists, and said, oh, we're going to give you a job here in the United States. But we got to change your names. Okay, you can't have German names. You can't be associated with what's happening over there in Germany. But we're going to make you an offer. Work for us and you could be free. My God. It's the truth. It's the truth, my friends. And it's a hard truth to swallow. Hard truth to swallow. And it's a hard truth to swallow for the people of Venezuela. Okay? You know, what we do in this dimension with our lives, there's karma. Okay? Karma. Karma is real, my friends. We may perceive karma as what you do to others come back to you, and it may not hit you directly. It might hit your children or your grandchildren. And you're like, why is all this happening? I'm confused here. I didn't do nothing to deserve this. But my parents were wicked. and evil and vile, and they lied. And this is what I'm seeing. So there was some kind of agreement signed, and he took the deal. I mean, this is crazy to even say this. Um, I don't even know what else to say, my friends. Um, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Um, I mean, I can pull a card on it, but it's going to say the same goddamn thing. Okay? It's going to say the same thing. This is what I got. So there was a deal signed before he was taken, and the show had to be performed. Bravo. Bravo. And you know, people's life are affected by choices of people. Okay. And we are really living in a show. Okay. And people are crying, people are will be affected in some way. Okay. And the reason why I say will be affected is because people are really suffering out here. Okay. Suffering may look different to some of you guys. Okay. When you can't feed your family, when you don't have a roof over your head, or you don't have you can't get a job or any kind of security. Okay. And these people that they're just the greed that's seeping through them. It's like they cannot be human. Okay. They what are they? Okay. Um, and this deceptions and lies. And we are in revelations, which revelations means anything that is hidden will be revealed to us. Okay. And things are being revealed to us. But there's distractions to get us off the course we're supposed to be on. There's the distractions to cipher our energy. This is energy harvesting. Okay. And I'm like, where the fuck are we at? Okay, excuse my French. Okay. And people need to be aware of this, but this is what I got from my remote viewing. He signed a contract. So he basically sold his country. Okay. And he's gonna live a beautiful life. Okay. Just saying. He is. This what we're seeing, he's in the courtroom, and this display, and he's going to be charged for things he has done. I don't know much about Venezuela. I've never been there. I know that some of my ancestors on my father's side, indigenous, are in Venezuela. Okay. Is all over the Caribbean. Okay. And this was all staged. I can't make this shit up. This is crazy. It's not funny because people are suffering, really suffering, and the greed of mankind. It's like this is bleeding. It's So this is the president. He's walking away. He's leaving behind walking away from Venezuela, the beach, walking behind, turning his back. He had to make a decision for him and his wife, and I think he has children. I seen his son. And he's walking away. His back is turned. But if you look at the water has memory, my friends. Water has memory. And there is some emotions here. Okay. Not just emotions. You also see it kind of looks like fire. And then it looks like water, right? See the fire right here? Right? So at one time he was passionate about his Venezuela, and then he got corrupted. Money will make you do some crazy shit out here. And with the water element, it shows emotion, but also if you look above him, there's a cloud of darkness. Okay, I'm not making this up. Look. Okay. Give me another card on this energy. I remote viewed it. So he's turning his back. The back is turned away, and then we got run away. He's running away. Okay. To me, this is a weak man. Okay. Because when you stand for something, a people, right, and you make this decision because you really don't have no choice. Okay. And this was all staged. Okay. And him and his wife got out scot-free. Okay. And his intuition, he knew. He knew. I always hear a song. He knows. He knows. Yes, he knows. But what really got me is when she said the ancestors. I'm like, okay, she got some balls here. She got some goddamn balls. Okay. And it's not about. Okay, so remember how this would be him. He would be the celebrity. Okay. Because he was vocal in his country, whatever ideology this man had. Okay. But this was past tense. And now he's running away. Okay. He's turning his back. He's taking the deal and he's hauling ass. Okay. So, and he also, I feel like he made some terms. Okay. Like if I go, my wife got to come with me. Okay. When do you see them take their wife and the husband? If the target is just the husband. Okay. Just saying. Okay. I seen more, but I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. But there's a darkness. There's a darkness here. Okay. And his back is turned because he can't face his reality. Okay. His truth. Okay. That's the reality, my friends. Let's get one more card on this. I can't make this up. I remote view this, and this is what I got. So he signed a damn contract. Okay. One more card, and then we're going to end this. It's all a stage to appear one way on social media, and it was all for this greed. And you gotta understand, like these South American places, these Caribbean places, Venezuela is right in the middle of all these other places. Okay, and it's a stronghold because I circled the places next to Venezuela. Okay. They already got Puerto Rico years ago. Okay. Now they got Venezuela. Okay. And everybody did this for greed. Okay. And they had to clean it up to make it seem, oh, we just went in there and took this man and his wife. Okay. That's not what happened, my friends. He signed a paper. Okay. He signed a contract. Okay. So he's not going to be sitting in jail like you and me are seeing and perceiving that we're actually seeing. The trial is all a joke. Okay. Think about it. If he was charged for any kind of crimes against humanity, he wouldn't be charged in the United States of America. He would be charged in front of the whole world. Okay. And I think it's whatever that place is called, the UN or something. And social media is pushing out this, or they're pushing out this narrative that we just went in there and we just took this man and he didn't know we were coming, and he knew. Okay. But he took a deal. Okay. And the deal is greed. Okay. And they cleaned it up to make it look one way, right? But the ancestors are saying there needs to be some healing. So the healing is the truth. Okay. That's what the healing is. The healing is the truth, my friends. And nothing is going to be hidden at this time. Everything will be revealed to us. Things that you don't even want revealed to you. Okay. And we have to be careful, even me, um, what I give energy to. Um, because what you give energy to, it takes your what you give energy to, it takes your energy. Okay. And the ancestors want healing. So when they say healing, is they want the truth to come out. That's what they want. Okay. That's all. They just want the truth to come out. Okay. Um, it would have been better if they said, "Oh well, he just signed a contract and he gave my country over." But then if he did that, the country would be like the Venezuelan people would be like, "Oh hell no!" You understand what I'm saying? Like, um, and everybody did this for greed. Greed. Okay. I can't make this up. I remote view this energy. Um, and the couple walked away scot free. Spouse, partner. And then when you look at spouse and partner too, they made agreement. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make this agreement. And him and his wife got out, and he will see his son again. Okay, he definitely is going to see his family. So we're gonna think he's in jail, and he's not in jail. He's gonna be living this life of luxury, hiding somewhere. Okay, do you guys see the camera going in and out? My God. Okay, because and there will be balance here. There's balance here. Okay, so this balance, this is the truth, the justice, the truth, the justice for mankind. My gosh. Okay. Um, there needs to be balance because right now there's no balance here. There's just lies and lies and lies and lies, distraction, distraction, distraction. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. This is what I got. I didn't even have to even pull this, but I remote view this energy, and this is all a show. Okay, all a show. Um, bravo, my gosh, bravo. Okay, bravo. Okay. What is the future for Venezuela? Okay. I'm going to say hope is the future for Venezuela. That's what I'm going to say. Hope. Okay. Hope. The truth. Okay. Um, that is what is for Venezuela. Okay. Hope. Okay. And this is what I'm getting, you guys. So he signed some kind of paper contract, and you can't even see his face. He don't even want his face. Look. And the water element is, there is emotion there. Okay, there is emotion there. And then above it is that cloud that will always be over his head wherever he goes on this realm or other realms. Okay, this will always be in his heart and in his head what he has done. Okay, um, always. It will be something that will always go with him wherever he's at. Wherever he goes in this world, it will be over his head. Okay. He may have money, he may have luxury, but that's always going to be over his head that he sold his people out. Okay. Just saying. Okay. This is what I got. And he did this for greed. And he wanted to get out unscathed. Okay. Think about it, you guys. His wife, they took his wife. Okay. Just saying. Um, and you got to look at history. History repeats itself. Okay. Just like with Hitler for entertainment purposes. Okay, when they said that he poisoned himself, but they never found a body, or they found a body. They said they found a body. Then they took all his officers and and scientists and people like that. They changed their names. They worked for us. They came here and they had jobs. They were offered. They signed contracts to never talk about what they did, or you know what I mean. Just think about it. How horrendous is this? Okay. Um, and this is very interesting because the beach. Now, people may say, well, they might run into him, they might see him somewhere, right? And they might be sightings of him, right? But they can always change your features, okay? Your face, they can, reconstruct your face. I mean, they can go do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then they can send you somewhere where you're on an island by yourself. Because this looks like what is I was seeing in my vision. If you look, this is an island. There's nobody on this island. Except probably his family, his wife, his grandchildren, certain people that know the truth will be able to visit him. Just saying. Okay. And this was all for greed. But we're in the time of revelation where things will be revealed to us, my friends. Okay. Nothing is hidden. Okay. Anything that's in the shadows will come out. Okay. And this is what I'm getting. So he signed a contract. This was all staged. People had to see this. People had to hear this narrative that was spinned, right? On social media so people could talk about it, distract them from what's really going on. And what's really going on is greed. Okay, greed. And the lust for greed. Okay. Lust for greed. Okay? And that is the truth. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. This is Jennifer Felix. Thank you guys so much. There's hope. Okay? There's hope for mankind. Okay? There's hope for everybody. Okay? And he had to show himself to the world one way. Okay? Like this persona. Okay? Like if you don't do what I say, no. He signed the paper. Okay? Oh gosh, I cannot. My gosh. Okay? So this is what I'm getting. And I was pulling it from his son's energy. I remote viewed it. I even remote viewed his son's energy. Okay? And that lady that got sworn in. If you do not go with this has been going on forever. Nothing is a coincidence. What in my kind of work, I don't believe nothing is a coincidence. Okay? I don't. Nothing is a coincidence, my friends. Okay? So this is what I'm getting. Okay? And there's hope for mankind. We are consciously aware. We're waking up consciously of what is the truth and what is a lie. Okay? And be careful of what you give your energy to at this time. Okay? I was going to do different readings on different countries, but there is so much greed, okay, so much deception, so much lies from the real truth, okay, to distract you from seeing what's really going on, distract you from your soul purpose or your spirit purpose, okay. But nothing will be hidden. Nothing. I mean, nothing at all. Okay. This is a time of revealing. If you look at revelation means to reveal, means to that something is hidden but is no longer hidden, that is revealed to everybody. Okay, so this is what I got on my remote viewing session on this guy, the president of Venezuela, and the orange man here. And like I said, this is for entertainment purposes and it's all bullshit. Okay, but it's all stage. He signed a contract, but wherever he goes in life, wherever he changes his face and his wife changes and they live on this island, they're always going to have this over them. Okay, always, my friends. Okay, so they're not really escaping. Okay, because this will always haunt them. Okay, always. Okay. So thank you so much. This is Jennifer Felix reading. This is a read I got on Venezuela and the president of Venezuela. And there is hope for mankind, hope for a future, and I hope for Venezuelan people. And whatever lies and deception out here, be careful what you give energy to at this time. Okay. I'm going to do a video on our star. We all have a star coming in. Okay. Our star is our destiny. Okay. And what is happening with our destiny. okay, and how to know who is stealing and swapping your destiny, okay? That is on my next video, and I'm about to come back on and do a live on that, okay? How you can protect yourself from somebody taking your destiny, okay? Um, and how you can see who actually is taking it, trying to swap destinies with you, okay? There's ways that you can see who's doing it, okay? I just hope South Africa is not next though. Um, you gotta understand, these people that are running these countries, they don't care about the people, okay? You offer them a couple $1 billion and they're gonna sell their country out and walk away, okay? I don't feel like South Africa is gonna do that, okay? I'm just saying, okay? I don't believe that at all, okay? Not what I heard from the man. That it's crazy, because even from the Venezuela president, he was talking all this good stuff about his people, and he loves his people, and he was, I don't know, I've never been to Venezuela, okay? I have people that are from my tribe that are in Venezuela, okay? And I know that they have suffered, okay, because of greed. And this is happening here in the United States, my friends, okay? I'm just saying. This is wrong. Venezuela should support their leader. My thing is, how can Venezuela support their leader if their leader sold Venezuela out? How can you support a man if he sold his own country out? I'm just saying. How do you support somebody that sold their country out? How do you support somebody like that? Okay? Because just saying, if I run a country, I'm not selling my people out. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I'm just saying, okay? And I would tell them, look, this is what I was offered, and I'm not taking it. So I guess I have to meet my fate, okay? But people are not built like that, okay? So how do you support a man that sold his own country out? Okay, I remote viewed it. He's going to be on an island. He's going to be living and eating and living a beautiful life. His son even knows. The woman that was sworn in knows. Okay, I remote viewed this. So how do you support somebody that sells their own people out? I don't know. I don't understand that. It's wrong. Okay, it's wrong. Trump called Venezuela company on national TV. Yeah, it's for the oil. Venezuela is a third leading oil, and there was tariffs in Venezuela where they could not trade. Okay, so is this a good thing for the Venezuela people in the future? Like, because for tourism, and better opportunities, job opportunities, housing. I'm not from Venezuela, okay? So the Venezuela people need to speak for themselves, okay? I'm American, okay? I have indigenous and black, okay? But they need to speak for themselves. That's where they live, okay? That's their people, okay? And it was for greed. Everything these people do is for greed, okay? You look at all these leaders, okay? It's not just for greed, it's for power and control. Who wants to control people and have power with people and deceive people? Okay? It's hard to do it's hard to do it's hard to support a person like that. I have family in Zimbabwe. They hate the leader there. Yeah, there's so much going on, and there's so much lies and deception where you have to see through it. Okay? And what you may see or hear, don't believe everything you see and hear, okay? And if you want to look into this energy yourself, you can, okay? You don't have to believe what I say, okay? You can look into it yourself, okay? Just saying, okay? But we have seen leaders of country that are so damn greedy that they will sell their own people out. And this is what has happened. He signed a contract. And if you see the beach card, he's going to some island. But that cloud that's going to be over him, okay, and his wife, okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So he can never get away from this spiritually. Okay. Um, and this is what I'm seeing. Okay. So I can't really speak on this because I'm not from Venezuela. Okay. But I had nothing to do with this. Okay. Neither did my children or my grandchildren. Okay. Our hands are clean. Okay. Of this. Okay. But the person that took over Venezuela, his hands are not clean for his children and grandchildren. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying here? Okay, everybody meets their fates. Okay, everybody will meet their fates. Okay, I can't express this. Everybody will meet their fates. Okay, everybody. Okay, whatever your fate is out here, living your truth, speak your truth, and stand for something, okay? Because if you don't stand for nothing, we have generations to come, okay? We have the children, the grandchildren, and they're believing this deception, and they're going to see him, okay? What is he going to tell his grandchildren? And how's his son going to look at him? His son is going to get a cut of this too, but I'm just saying. Somebody said, so the Venezuela people, there's hope. Okay, you have to have hope. You have to have hope. If you have hope, you have nothing. Okay. Can you do a video on Dennis Spencer and Monique Tape? They were murdered. Jada, I did screenshot that. I will look into that. Okay, and so there's 3 places that I'm seeing here. Okay, so I tried to do videos yesterday. The one on Trinidad Tobago did not come out. Um, so I have to get on another platform. Okay, I don't have a lot of viewers. Okay, I'm having a lot of people view my channel, but I'm not at. I was at a certain point, and then my numbers were just dropping off, and I know who's doing it. I can see. Okay, I can astral travel, just like anybody can astral travel. We all astral travel. Okay, all of us. Okay, but I want to talk about destiny swapping. Okay, so I'll try to do a video on Trinidad and Tobago. So these are what I'm seeing. Okay, so I was drawn psychically, okay, to Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico. Okay, so we're gonna see something with these places. Okay, I wouldn't be fear mongering. I'm not gonna fear monger, but pay attention. Okay, and pay attention to what you're not seeing or what you're not hearing. Okay, this is why we have to be consciously aware of the deception and the lies, because many of us will be deceived. Okay, just not being things being revealed, but there will be a lot of deception. Okay, and this is what we're seeing, a lot of deception. Okay, so I want to talk about destiny swapping. Okay, it's very real. Okay, I was on the astro, I was meditating, I went on the astro, and I want to talk about this because it's so important. We all have a star. We are the solar system. We carry information, um, and we were stripped of knowledge and wisdom and real magic. When I talk about real magic, is telepathically communicating. Okay, being consciously aware, knowing your true gifts, your true strengths. Okay, understanding who you truly are. Okay, so I'm going to do a video on destiny swapping. I have done it before, but I want to tell you how you can protect yourself from this, because this place is being run by warlocks, witches, and not good ones. Okay, these people are not good. Okay, they're vile and they're evil. Okay, um but they will drop like flies. Okay. My mother always said to be careful what I say because the tongue is a weapon. Okay. Um, a weapon. Okay. um, so, um, I see Cuba, Colombia, and Mexico. So I don't know if they're gonna have if there's gonna be hope. So some people are happy that he's out of there. Some people are not. And maybe, Venezuela is a beautiful country. Okay. So tourism, maybe some people, are gonna have better opportunities. I don't know. But it's like the economy, a lot of things, if we look in history, and I say why things repeat itself and nothing is a coincidence, is it always repeats itself, but it has different characters, okay, in place, right? But when you look at everything in this world stage, it's all based on deception, um, and it's also based on not just deception, but greed, okay? And this is why these people cannot go to outside to the higher places of consciousness, not even higher places of consciousness, um, to where there's no sickness, there's no worry, there's no fear. Okay. They can't enter those places. Okay. We can enter those places. Okay. Yes, envy. Okay. Yes, I know what you were saying. There's a lot of that happen in Africa. Something similar happened to me. Yeah, so I want to talk about destiny swapping. I was actually astral traveling, and I seen who was trying to swap destinies with me. So I'm going to tell you ways to protect yourself, okay? In the old times, they say what we do is evil, but what they're doing to us is evil, okay? They have to use witches and warlocks. Not all witches and warlocks are bad, okay? When you have, it's your intention, okay? Your intention, okay? We all have magic within us. We are the universe. We are the solar system, okay? We are the stars, okay? And you need to get back your star, okay? Because it's rightfully yours. And see, they may have some kind of domain on this realm, but they have no domain in other realms. Okay, they are blocked spiritually. Okay, they have no weight. Okay, they know you have the weight. Okay, yes, confusion. Okay, so I'm going to talk about destiny swapping. I feel like this is a very important video, and how to know who is trying to swap destinies and how they see your star. Okay, I'm gonna call it the star because it really is a star. Okay, um, and how you can see who's trying to get your destiny. Um, they first attack with you. Yeah, so they will. I will talk about it. Yes, yes, they will come. They have people that you have, like me, right? I'm here to help mankind. Okay, I'm here to elevate consciousness, okay? You don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to even believe what I say, okay? You don't have to, okay? Go look into the energy yourself, okay? But there's people that want to that have ill intentions, and there's people that have good intentions. This is why some things were forbidden to even talk about, because people would use it for bad. And this is what people have done, okay? Um, they first attack with you. Yeah, so confusion. Yes, confusion is one of them. They will do confusion spells. They will attack you. And I want to teach you guys how to protect yourself, okay? Because we're not turning the other cheek, okay? This is the fuck around and find out, okay? This is how I feel, okay? When you get older, you get to a point where you just don't care. You say whatever's on your mind, and if people don't like it, hey, then they're not meant to be around you, okay? Um, so that's how I feel about it, okay? So I'm going to, because they're doing witchcraft on you. They have you under a spell. Okay. Some of you guys have awakened from the spell, and some of you guys have not awakened from the spell. Okay. They have put people in a trance. I've seen it with my own eyes. Okay. In a trance where they're believing bullshit. Okay. And I'm just like, these people in a goddamn trance. And I remember seeing alive, and people were like in a goddamn trance. And I was like, this is crazy. So to put people in a trance, they have to put spell work over you. Okay. And you don't even know what's really going on. Okay. There is witches and warlocks that work for the governments. Okay. I'm just saying. I've seen it. I can see them just like they can see me. Okay. On the physical and the astral. Okay. So I'm going to come back on, and I'm going to say how you can protect yourself, because we're in a time of fuck around and find out. All right, you guys. All right, I love you guys so much. I'm going to come back and talk about ways you can protect yourself and how you can know who's actually doing it. Okay, because there is ways you can see who's doing it. Okay. All right. So this is the read I got on Venezuela and the United States. There's hope. And I will say that once again, there is hope. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. This is Jennifer Felix. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys so much for being here, liking my videos, and the support on my channel. Okay. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. Okay. Honestly. Well, yeah, because I've done this in many lifetimes. Okay. But I'm trying to, when I exit out this time, I want to be remembered for being a good person. I want to be remembered for what I gave to others, um, and leave something behind, because I have children and grandchildren. Okay. And my fate is their fate, and their fate is my fate. Okay. All right. Um, yes, the people asleep will attack you and try to wake them up. Yeah, it's hard because they're in a trance. Okay. So some people are in a trance state. So when you talk to them, it sounds foreign. Okay. Because they're completely, it looks like a coma state. Okay. That's, yeah, like a coma state. They're in a coma state, and they're there's a spell put over them. Okay. And the spell must be lifted. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to lift it from your energy to see who is destiny swapping with you. Okay. A lot of you guys out here should be rich, not just in spirit, but in the physical. Okay. Um, and you wonder why. It's because other people are trying, they're not trying, they're taking your goddamn destiny. And we're not allowing that shit to go down no more. Fuck around and find out. Okay. What is yours? You need to claim it. Okay. All right. So I'll be back on, and I will talk about destiny swapping and I'll say 3 ways, or there's more like 5 ways you can tell, but the 3 main ways that I know. Okay. And you need to get back to your ancestral roots. Whatever ancestral root you come from, it holds information, it holds codes. You need to understand that. These codes, and you need to decode these codes, okay? Because a lot of you carry around codes, okay? Codes, okay? Information, okay? So I'll come back on and we'll talk about destiny swapping. Okay, you guys, this was on Venezuela and America. Okay. So he signed a paper. There's a contract. This is all stage. This is all bullshit. And this video is all bullshit. And okay. All right. So there's hope. I'm going to say there's hope, because there is hope, you guys. Okay. All right. Um, and maybe, Venezuela will get better. I don't know. I've never been there. Okay. But I did speak to a woman that I couldn't believe it. She was on the tribal thing, and she was from Venezuela. And I was like, damn, we're even in Venezuela. Like, we got around. Okay. I was like, damn, we got around. Okay. Even Hawaii. Okay. I was shocked. I'm like, damn, there is Hawaiian people that have our DNA. Okay. And they said that we were wiped out. We're indigenous. Okay. We're never wiped out. Okay. We continue to live on through our codes, through our spirit, through the information. Okay. All right. And as you guys are new here, my father is Taino, and my mother is black. Okay. She's black. Okay. If you're new to my channel, my mother is black and my father is Taino. Okay. Um, Yes, we must raise the consciousness and the awareness of the consciousness because we don't want to be decepted and led to be slaughtered. Okay? I'm not going to be slaughtered. Okay? Um, that's why, and I don't want other people to be slaughtered. What I mean by being slaughtered is being deceived and deception and the witchcraft that is being used. The witchcraft is unreal here. People think the witchcraft in Africa and Haiti, shit, the witchcraft here is unbelievable. Okay, I've seen it. Okay, I seen them watching my channel. Okay, I seen them on the goddamn astro. Okay, in the physical and the astro. Okay, I've seen them with my own eyes. Okay. So it's real. Okay. So we're going to talk about destiny swapping and how to get your destiny back. Okay. Um yes. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much. This is Jennifer Felix. Once again, hit the like button, share my video. I love you guys. This is all fuckery. He signed a contract. He walked away from his people. So if any people should be mad, should be Venezuela. Okay. Because he signed a contract. Okay. And he's not going to be in some prison cell. Him and his wife are going to be living a good fucking life. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. It makes me angry to think about it. Um, so yes. So protect yourself. They tell you to turn the other cheek. No, we're not turning the other cheek. That's a false lie that they've been telling you guys for years. Y'all just been turning the other cheek. We're not turning the other cheek. It's fuck around and find out and catch you. If it's not in the physical, we'll catch you in the astral. Okay. And you're very protected in the spiritual. Okay. A lot of you guys are. That's why you're being you. I'm going to talk about it in the next video. Okay. Destiny swapping is very real. And we need to talk about it. And I need to tell you how you can find out who's actually doing it to you. Okay. All right, you guys. Thank you guys. This is Jennifer Felix. Once again, I love you guys. Okay. And this is what I got. All right. Thanks. I'll be back. All right. Bye.